Warning, the video that you'll be seeing from the Reddit post is gore. Dion, you're doing your best on. Sorry, my MacBook is really out of date here. It's 2:30 in the morning, the 22nd of October on a Wednesday. However, though, this is for educational purposes, so I know how YouTube is because they're thinking that I'm encouraging self-harm. No, this is supposed to be warning for basically parents out there that may have young children that might be traumatized. Love, Dion. My glove, this man got wrecked from, what's his name, Dion? Freddy, right? Or Mike Mott, I think it's more like Freddy at this point. Oh, with the mask?
This is what my background is, with this music. Little tops and my profile picture. Whoops. And that's what it is. My dear.
I thought I could reveal my Josh Skellington outfit, which is eons ago, and I had to record this in the end because my MacBook is so out of date. The audio's recording, right? Hold on. Okay, good. Dion, it is. Wonderful. So, we made like the episode from SpongeBob SquarePants in the first season when SpongeBob wanted to get himself a haircut, which turned out that he was cutting off his own spongy flesh and basically traumatizing Patrick by, oh, SpongeBob's dead. Don't wait, Patrick, he'll go back. and scaring the other customers at the Krusty Krab. And by the way, I am going to my suicidal spot at the moment here, or I like to call it suicidal, like Soul Evans, right? Because I feel dead inside, kinda. I'm feeling suicidal, right? And clinically depressed because, well, I'm microwaving my lean cuisine beef coulis, my beef and broccoli meal, because I have one more left because it's Wednesday, but hope to Buddha's belly that Dion, your mother, will have more groceries, eh? Hopefully. And just going to outer stress. And basically, you know, watching this episode, it really gives me flashbacks of how when children can watch cartoon gore that isn't actual gore, but it's really disturbing compared to what you've seen in that video. I gotta admit, okay, basically 4 to 5 times here, it is pretty awesome of how realistic that Gore-Decor is, that gory decoration, if I like to call it, right? That Floridan man, I'm surprised it's a man, or it could be a woman, who knows, okay, because you could definitely tell that this is in Florida because of the palm trees, or at least that's what someone says in the comments, but at the same time I can tell because usually they don't have second-story houses, and, well, they do have houses like that, I suppose, right, and no rocks under lawn, I'm sorry, right, compared to where I'm from in Arizona, of course. And basically, to see this on Reddit, a handful of people were saying that, you know what, this is awesome and all. However, though, this could definitely traumatize children, and I won't be surprised there's lawsuits involved and emotional distress, even though this is in their front yard. It is in a public space. However, though, for the little ones that had to go to trick-or-treating, because, well, I think it's supposed to be, what, 8 days from now? It's the 22nd, right? Do the math. It's a bit much, okay? Because you literally have that poor man, that poor white man, I can definitely tell, right? That looked like he'd be from a backgrounds character from Friday the 13th, right? In the 80s, so to speak. He basically has his body cut in half, or saw in half. Right, I gotta say, I have a phobia of gore like that. I don't have hemophobia because I could stand seeing blood and all. Oh yeah, especially since I used to self-harm. I'm supposed to be Dion. You're supposed to be 14 months, give or take. Yeah, I'm supposed to be 14 months clean. on my left wrist. And yes, I have a scar on my left arm. That's permanent, right? I feel awful for people that really have to go do self-harm. It's not pretty. Okay, you thinking that we decide to do that? Well, one, some of us want to do it for attention because, well, we want to be heard. Like me, personally. Two, well, we were afraid to actually ask for help. And three, well, we just feel so overwhelmed with life situations. We just want a way out. If that actually makes sense, right? And seeing that, it gives me, I have a phobia of people that have their bodies cut in half. Or even decapitated. You know, think about, I don't know, like an MS-13 cartel member that wanted to cut out someone's heart out, like from a guy. How much to buy? How much to buy? When Stewie had to take up Meg's heart to, let's just say, those Thanos on Attack on Titan that would just rip out those army men and women. I don't like the anime. I mean, I like the music, but it's too darn gory for me. There's only a certain point of gore that I could withstand. It depends, right? Now those types of animes, for example, or movies, something like that. But for me personally, they should basically have it somewhere in their like, they have a fence in their yard. It could be, if you're 17 and older, which here in the US, that's bid am, right? Or not only for gaming, but for TVs. Because for them porn, right? Even though you got Archer, which means you're going to be basically an adult to watch that. Well, 17 is not an adult, but it's close to that number, right? That's cartoonic. It's not real porn. Porn will be 18 plus. They should basically have a sign of that. That way, if there's parents that have children that go with them, they don't have to see that. But for the older crowd, right, they can see that. You know, as a little cool trick-or-treating to the trick-or-treaters, right? It actually makes sense. Or a trick to the trick-or-treaters, right? Because for little ones, the youngins, to basically see something like that in person, it could traumatize them for life. And this is share this from a 7-year-old perspective, right? It reminds me of that episode for Courage the Cowardly Dog when Courage was dreaming about Muriel being eaten, like her head off. I cried watching that episode. I'm not going to watch it ever again. It still traumatizes me as a dirty old autistic boy here, right? It still traumatizes me. Okay, it's the Mask episode when I think it's supposed to be like a lesbian couple or something. I don't remember, right? Because it's supposed to be a cat that beat up Courage for no apparent reason. I don't remember. I don't want to watch the episode again. I still remember when Courage had that dream and Mira was just moving her arms, right? I don't want to think about that episode. Again, I'm 30 and it still traumatizes me. Again, this is awesome, but the thing is, this is too much. Come to think of it, I'm not sharing that clip. If you don't believe me or people want to click off right away, that's fine. Okay? But the thing is, though, this could severely traumatize them. I gotta admit, it would really traumatize them. I gotta say, if the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode of Muriel's head was basically just eaten off, no blood involved, imagine if I'd seen that in person in some Florida street in Orlando somewhere with my mother where I had to go trick-or-treating, right? At that age. I'd probably cut myself even more, maybe. I don't want to blame this person. No, it's just, you know, they should at least have like a warning. And I'll probably share the Reddit post whenever I'm ready. And also, Greg, Dumbbell, Ben, Daniel, the rest of you, I'm so sorry. And Garnet, that you're so concerned about me. I'm not doing well mentally. I am. And I feel awful that Greg cried. Including, it's supposed to be Paul as well. My if, Paul, honestly, I didn't meant to make anyone feel this way. I'm just going through a really terrible time. Plus, my MacBook basically crashed, right? It's out of start over. So, I just had to just share this because, again, it is pretty awesome that we basically do have Gore-Decor like that you could buy online. But, you should be an adult to basically purchase one of those. And there should be maybe like a certain agreement to have it around your house. They should have like a sign or something if they want to pass out candy. Again, we should make Halloween scary, but it's to an extent, right? Like, let's just say for SpongeBob, for example, that didn't scare me when I was a child, which is kind of funny though. I think it was priceless. I think it was hilarious, right? Literally, not to mention SpongeBob looks so darn scary. But compared to Robin to Miro and Courage's Dream, no. Maybe because it reminds me of my mother when I was younger. I don't know. Anyway, I was 7. I was old enough to watch Courage. But still, it traumatized me. Okay? And this is like around 2002-ish. So, yeah, if you get where I'm coming from. The thing is, though, we shouldn't have this dull, stupid, pink pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns that are plastic or pink bats from Michael's, which is some weird store. That's whack. One of my classmates, Richard, I used to have a crush on him because he was stretched on the floor and I see his belly button. Sorry. Yeah, I'm weird, okay? I was a child and that's where my fetish came from because we have movies and watching the Charlotte's Web or The Hedge. I would see the boys would lay on the floor and they were stretched and there's, I could see the little stomachs. Yeah, and my teachers, they kind of knew I was staring, but I was younger at the time and I didn't mean to do anything. Don't worry, I didn't. And I was just telling one of my counselors I was watching porn, but I didn't. And maybe this is because I am so sorry, my MacBook froze. You know what? As a bonus, if any of you likes old videos, here's a video of my mother, our dogs, and I watching Hotel Transylvania. If you can guess what year this took place, even though you don't have to. Okay, this is a little extra if you watch all the way through. If you have, okay, Dan, let's see. Which monster or symbol of an emoji is your favorite? The pumpkin, which is a jack-o'-lantern. The skull, which is the skeleton, which is my personal favorite because of Jack Skellington. Or 3, which Dan is supposed to be. Which one was it?
That's a good one.
Jack-o'-lantern, skull, ghost. There we go, like Casper. And it's 233.
She's watching Hotel Transylvania. Okay. No, I won't. Oops. Also, I'm gonna close it. Sorry, I had to, I was about to change and I was wearing a long shirt, but this is this little scene about the little thunderstorm and my mom watching TV, and I guess just went over the wall. And my tea, by the way. Oh. Fine, come on.